So let me reassure you, okay, that my job is not to take children. And I hate that people feel that way. And I'm sorry you feel that way. I can't change what has been the stigma for CPS. When we get a alternative response, it's not like a traditional investigation. So, say for instance, someone makes a phone call and they say little Johnny was running down the street and he fell and he hit his head on the stairs. It may have been little Johnny's fault, but I still have to come out, talk to mama, talk to little Johnny, and make sure. This is my supervisor calling me, and I have been trying to get a hold of her. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Hey, Miss Jennifer, how are you? I'm with Miss Stevens. What is it? Anything I could? Okay. And I'll put I just talked to Julie as well. Her and I are gonna get together after. We really don't have a plan, but just go back out there, and that's what we're gonna do. Yep. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Bye bye. I'm sorry, and I would not. You are important, but I got some stuff. It's been a crazy week, and it's just Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, and let me tell you, I'm what was said. I don't care. My job is to make sure your children are safe, just like your job is to make sure they're safe and taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna document that. That's it. I'm not gonna be on her side or your side. I'm for the kids' safety. I could care less on. We have a whole lot of things going on. Like during the summertime, we get a lot of calls concerning kids' safety, especially when they go like to the other parent's house. So I don't get involved in things that's not a concern to the children.
Yeah.
If you all are having your disputes and arguments in front of the kids, then that's where I have the concern with that. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not here to judge you.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need to have someone else here, you can definitely have someone else here. This is not a form. This is not like it's not like an interrogation. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is more so I gather information. I ask you questions. Typically, I would ask the kids the same questions, and we will all be in the same room doing it. If it was a traditional case, it would be a little bit different. I wouldn't even call you. I would just immediately go out and talk to the children. It's not that way. Okay? So do you mind if I live document? I'm just typing as we talk.
No, yeah.
Okay, because I'm telling you, it makes my life easier. I like to explain why I do what I do.
Yeah.
I just like to be able to go home and enjoy my kids just like you do. So it makes life easier for me if I'm able to do it now. Okay.
Sure.
And I'm transparent when I'm typing. I'm telling you, okay, I'm typing what you're saying. I'm not telling my story. I'm telling yours.
The transparency part is the part that I crave the most.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the dark here.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can protect myself other than to be transparent.
That's the only way.
But on the flip side, I would appreciate the same thing because
Okay, well, honestly, I'm not laughing at the referral that's called in. It's really, to me, more of a quarrelsome between adults. Where is the child safety involved? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I see now that I don't see reading. I don't see child safety. Child safety would have been mama and wife got into it and kid got hurt in the middle of it. That's where the child safety is involved. Not mom and mom get into it. Okay?
Yeah.
That happens.
Psychologically, this is harmful to my kids.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to turn this phone ringer down.
Sure.
Because, oh my gosh, it rings all the time.
They've had police come in unexpectedly. And the police woke them up and started asking them questions. benign questions. You know, how y'all doing? How's your summer been?
Yeah.
Is everything okay? That kind of stuff. But I had to explain to them why the police came to ask them those questions.
Okay.
And then that's when they started to tell me that Roxanne, my wife, had been asking them questions too. And I found out from a friend that my wife had recorded these conversations. So what's happening is my wife has abandoned us, and she has deprived us of resources. And now it's easy for her to say that the kids aren't being taken care of.
Will her command, because I mean, regardless of whom it is, will her command make sure that she does what she does as far as a spouse? Because are you working?
I'm not working, but I can show you an email where her captain sent me a copy of the regulation that says, as long as we live in this unit, she doesn't have to do anything else. She doesn't have to provide transportation to doctor's appointments or physicals. She doesn't have to provide groceries.
What is it I can do to help you? Is there a bill I can pay for you?
It's not financially okay.
You're okay. Okay.
I could go to the store and buy whatever we need.
Okay. It's for you processing the fact that she's left.
What you gotta understand is, I left her.
Okay.
I'm in school here.
Okay.
I came back this past weekend to go to school, and then I was going to go back to where I had been staying.
Okay. So you were all on the edge of it already ending.
Already had settled that we were going to be done. So this time I came back, she took the vehicles from me. And
why do I see you hurting though? Why are you hurting?
Because of the retaliation that she's doing to her, me and my girls. It's not about her. I was done with her. It's true. We argue. There have been physical altercations. I've been in therapy for a year. We've been trying marriage counseling. It's just not going to work between me and her. But now that I decide I want to leave, you trap me here. And then you attack me. You plant weed on the premises. You make a complaint to CPS. You coerce my kids to say some damaging stuff.
She didn't make the complaint.
My wife didn't make the complaint?
Mm-hmm. I don't want you to have that resentment towards her. She didn't. I can't tell you who, but she did. So let's move on from there.
Well, I know she planted the weed on the premises. I know she did that.
So what happened with that? Is that when the MPs came out to you?
I called the MPs thinking that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And they tried to arrest me.
Wow.
So after that, bellowed over because I told them, that I found weed. And then they tried to arrest me. And I'm like, how can you arrest me because I'm telling you a story about what happened? You weren't here. You didn't see it. You don't have no evidence. So they didn't arrest me. But then after that, I asked them, I called back and I talked to a sergeant, and a lieutenant came out here and talked to me, and he assured me that, if all I'm trying to do is just protect myself and make sure there's nothing here that shouldn't be here, then, they won't arrest me. I allowed them to bring the K9s in my house and around the premises because I needed to know that if there's anything else lodged or stashed, they would find it
now.
And if she called and said there's something here, then okay, well, you have prior knowledge. How do you know? It's not just on me. Because I don't have nowhere else to go. I got to finish school. She wants to stop me from finishing school. She wants me to leave here, not be here. Because this is my biggest goal, the most important thing to me.
What are you going to school for?
To be a yoga teacher.
Go ahead.
I've been doing yoga for
fitness.
Years. I've been teaching yoga for years, but I wanted to be registered and certified.
So you're into like Zen and healthiness?
All of that. And this is throwing me completely out of whack.
Well, why did I get a different person this morning?
Because this has been going since the 16th. And I do not feel safe. I feel like she has enabled.
So I'm going to tell you what happens when we get an intake. And the 16th, I think, is on a Thursday, I believe. I think it was on the Thursday. If we get an intake, I may not necessarily get it on my caseload until Friday. Well, what happened Friday was I was in Gatesville all day. I didn't even get a chance to log into my computer. And then I was on call the whole weekend. So I was doing on-call stuff. And then yesterday, I was in Gatesville all day. So we have a time frame to contact you, and I was still within that time frame. And so that's why, if it had been an immediate need, baby, I would have been out here day one. There was no immediate need. There was no immediate need for me to come right away to your home, because the situation, reading the referral, wasn't necessarily a safety concern as far as right now immediate. But there is concerns that there are things going on in the home as far as with the domestic. You don't never know until you come out and talk, and that's what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that, I mean, if we would have felt like it was like an immediate, we would have had somebody out right now.
I'm still not convinced that she doesn't have something to do with the referral, because nobody knows me. Everything that's been happening.
Well, if she's a service member,
somebody could have filed it on her behalf. Something she told somebody, and they said, okay, well, I got a duty to report. Or she could have told her therapist something.
But at the end of the day,
it has everything to do with her. It does.
At the end of the day, we're here. I'm talking to you. You're talking to me. We're moving forward. I just want to make sure your babies are safe.
So is there anything that you can give me that explain my rights and that explain my kids' rights?
Yes.
Because if this is all about the kids, why isn't there a lawyer here to represent the kids, or a child psychologist to hold their hand, to walk them through
right now
this?
your kids are not in care. They are not in CPS custody. We have no reins and rights of telling you your child need to be in. We can advise you. So me talking to you, like you said you were in counseling, I was going to ask you, what do you think about the girls kind of going to some sort of counseling?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you have insurance
to get them there? We're on TRICARE.
Okay.
As long as we're married, my TRICARE is valid.
You know, for me, if there's a way I can work out for a cab or something, I can pay a bill, and then you have the money to pay for the cab, that's what I can do for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's only so much I can do, because you're the parent. I'm not. This is your home, not mine. So I'm only coming in to, you know, Mama said she was, had some things going on with her wife. I get it. She needs to get the girls in counseling. Awesome. However, she doesn't have transportation. We'll pay a electric bill, water bill. I don't know what bills you all have out here, but we'll pay a bill, a cell phone or whatever, to help her out so you can have money for your transportation. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. That's what my job is as an alternative response worker. Okay? That's it. I want to encourage and make recommendations, but if that's something you're already thinking about, yes.
So what about the transparency part? After this, are you going to be upfront with me and let me know what happens next? Mm-hmm. What can I expect?
With alternative response, I'm going to give you this pamphlet. It is not like traditional case. So there is no... Miss Stevens, we came in your home and we found that there is reason to believe your children are victims of neglectful supervision. It's not that. This is, I came out to your home, I spoke with you and your family, and 99% of the time it's, we didn't find anything and we're closing this case out. The other percentage...
And you'll let me know
either way. Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I call, so like, I try to get my cases worked within a 2-week period to kind of get it worked, get the assessments in, get all the documentation done. I have to do a safety assessment. I do the safety assessment by coming out to the home, interviewing the kids, interviewing mom, dad, moms, whomever. I contact collaterals. I'll get references from you. So people who you trust that can be your standing and state, you know, for you what you believe and what your parenting is. I will ask them those questions. I'll get 2 references from you, contact them. If there's no need and there's no immediate safety concerns, I'll call you back and I say, Ms. Stevens, we're closing this case out. You'll get a letter in the mail within a week. That's it. And the letter is just it's a generic letter. Ms. Stevens' case is closed concerning the kids' names, your name, case number, and that's it. There's no appeal to do. There's none of that because this is not a traditional investigation. So there's no alleged perpetrators. There's no victims. There's no findings. There's none of that. This is more so to prevent it from going to that part The alternative response is something new that the state of Texas kind of just started. So, CPS just kind of has a bad name. I mean, the first thing you said to me, one of the first things was, I don't want my kids to be taken, and I get that. I'm sorry that's a concern for you, but with alternative response, our goal is not that. It's not to take children. Now, if there is concerns that, I'm going to be honest with you, I've had cases that I went in on alternative response, and because of things that were came out in the meeting, I had to change it. But it was serious stuff. It's not, a roller was thrown and hit. We try to figure out ways that parents can kind of come together, co-parent, and work out. The other thing is she's not a parent for these children, so she's just a step-parent. So we're focused on you. We will need information on the other parent of the children. And that's if that person is involved, meaning they pay child support, they're involved with the children's activities, lifestyle, that kind of stuff.
So my oldest daughter, so like I said, I haven't been here. I leave, I take my kids with me, and we're gone. I come since this has been going on since summer, since school was out, because this marriage is over. So I come back, I go to school, and then I leave. My 16-year-old, she's not here. I left her in Arkansas because she was going to go to New Orleans with my family.
Okay.
Brought my baby girls here. They was going to stay at the house. Roxanne has been looking out for them while I've been at school. She did the same thing this weekend, except for Saturday and Sunday. We weren't even supposed to be here. So now all this is going on, and my family is wanting to put my kids on a plane, because I don't want to leave until I graduate. I can't afford to come this far
start over
and not get it. So when I was telling you that my kids weren't even going to be, my parents literally just trying to figure out how to get me to Dallas so I can get to the airport, get me to Houston. If it came down to riding a cab there. So it's been taking a couple of days just trying to figure out how to get the kids out of here. But now with this whole thing, I'm like, okay, I need to know when I can get my kids away. Because if there's an investigation and if I look like I'm trying to get my kids out of here, so that
if you being transparent and saying, hey, I already have plans for my children to go and be with my parents in Houston.
Well, they live in Atlanta.
In
the
Atlanta.
Airport is in,
so as long as you've been transparent with me, and if you allow me to just interview the children and get that part of it done, I can move on with the process of how it goes. And I'm going to give you this.
And I'm a substitute teacher, so having something like this on my file.
This is not, and that's again, this is not the traditional. This is not a traditional investigation. There's no findings. There's no allegations. There's no perpetrator. This is an assessment that we conduct with the family. We call it an assessment, and we come out, conduct it with the family. I get information, but it's not going in the record like how an investigation goes. If there is a perpetrator, if there are victims, if there are findings, then that's the things that you would have to appeal. But there's no process of appeal here because there's nothing to appeal.
And it's not my right to know what the complaint was or who made the complaint?
You cannot, I have no authority to tell you who made the complaint, but the complaint was basically the domestic violence in the home. The children being a part of it and seeing it, or not seeing it physically, but being a part of the after facts of it. And then also the concern was the kids were afraid of you.
And if she has my kids on tape saying that, like, that's why I feel like my kids need to be, their best interest needs to be represented.
And this
also
will be right, like the kids' conversation will be in front of you. It won't be by themselves. So I have kids.
No, so this is just
so you feel like
if a social worker or anybody that my kids don't know came to them and asked them questions, my kids will be honest.
Right.
But if somebody that my kids love to death and adore, like my wife,
yeah.
If it was, I don't know, they're 8 and 10, I could see her getting them to say anything.
Well, I'm not going to listen to the recording. I'm going to talk to the children. I'm not a law enforcement, CSI, criminal investigator that's going to go out and listen to the recording. I just want to talk to the children.
And then I'm also concerned because the transparency part, when the MPs came and did their welfare check, they told me that this was it. They was like, everything's fine here. We can close this out. So to find
That's
out.
on their end, though. So you have what, and I get why you kind of like, what's going on? Like, I thought this was over and done. But what happens is if there's a concern that comes in, we have to treat it like that. I don't even know anything about the MPs coming out to your home. I haven't talked to them. You told me. I haven't talked to them at all. So that was their own thing that they were doing on their end. Just like I have my own thing and Fountain, they have their own thing. We're not all working together because we're all three different separate entities. Do you feel much better now? I hope so.
This is how I feel, Vanetta. I can't fight this. I don't have anything to hide. But I don't feel much better because I know that I'm being set up. There's a smear campaign against me to ruin me. So no, I don't feel better until I know that all of these agencies that are involved give me the clear. I'll feel better incrementally as I get your clearance. You know, I felt better when the MPs didn't arrest me. I felt better when the K9 didn't find anything. I felt better when the MP said, we're good here. You know what I'm saying? But no, because I don't know what's next.
Well, I'm transparent. So what's next is I have to talk to the children and we can all talk together. If they're here, we can do it together. Or if what I normally do is if I'm talking, I talk to the children. If there are subjects that are not age appropriate, we'll talk amongst the adults and we'll let the children lead. But that's all I need to do. And then I move on.
I'm fine with you talking to my kids. I'm fine with anybody talking to my kids.
Are they here?
Yeah. My 16-year-old's not here.
Okay. But the other kids are here.
The 8 and 10 year old are here.
This is the alternative response book, and this just kind of gives you a breakdown of what alternative response is. Okay. And then in the midst of it, I put my contact information, my supervisors, and all that again in there. Okay. So you want to get them, and we can all talk together.
You want me to bring them down here, so you don't need to like walk around.
I will. What I'll do is, it's as a visual effect because my job is CPS. I always, no matter who house I go to, I don't care if it's the president's, I always make sure. Check the house for food, make sure they have, and if there's anything I can help you with, I'm like, hey, you need some money for groceries? Allow me to help you do those things. That's what I was saying.
We do need groceries.
Okay, so we'll talk about that then.
So how can my wife get away with abandoning us and not?
That's something you have to. I mean,
so
I don't know.
The complaint be on her. We even have a dog. I can call the freaking animal control people and say she abandoned a dog, and they'll probably go arrest her because it's a dog, But the kids, oh well, y'all live in the house. She don't have to do nothing.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my supervisor.
And then if you look at my refrigerator and you don't see no food, then these kids are not in a good environment.
That's not true. That's not true. And we can change that though. That's something we can change, okay? Because what we can do is, like I said, I can go and pay a bill for you. I can also try to find resources in the community, like food banks, for you. That's what we can do. That's what my job is. I'm not in here to point a finger, to tell you you're a bad parent. Okay, everybody don't parent the same. And okay, everybody get into it sometimes with their other significant other. But what I'm going to do is encourage you all that if you ever in another relationship, maybe not with this person, be mindful of those things because you do have children. And that's what I will be talking to you about. Okay?
I will get the girls. And that's a dog outside. I was scratching to get in. He's very
the dog.
Yeah, I had to put him outside.
Oh boy. y'all are so cute. Hello. Why y'all so cute? I don't have girls. I have boys. You just woke up?
They stay up all night.
Yep. That's what children do.
Bless you.
Do you want to have, you want to call anyone, or you want anyone to participate via phone?
Oh, no. My mom's on.
Okay.
the line.
So if your mom have any questions about concerns, tell her to ask me.
Oh, no. It's like she can't talk. It's
Okay.
like
Okay. All right. She just want to advocate
Marco
for you.
Polo.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, she just wants to know what's happening in real time.
I got her.
Because she's just panicking.
No panic, Mom. No panic. So, hey, young ladies. What's your name? Who? Alani. Can you spell that for me? I like that name. What's your last name? And how old are you, Alani? What's your birthday?
Y'all want some tea? You want some tea?
Alani, what grade are you in? Oh my goodness. Are you excited this is going to be your last year? It's going to be your last year in elementary, right? So how do you feel about that? You don't know? Do you do anything at school? Are you a part of the band or chorus? No? Can you speak up for me? I can't hear you.
No.
Okay.
You don't do anything in school? Well, that's
That's something. So you dance in the you like, is it like dancing step?
It's like Divine Nine Step.
Oh. Now see, I wish I had a girl. I don't get to do fun stuff. They like to do basketball and football, and it's not fun. You need to wake up. So, can I call you Alani? Is there a nickname you want me to call you by? Okay. So Alani is fine. I really like that name. It's unique.
I'm sorry y'all having to do this, okay?
What do you mean sorry?
I'm sorry. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. I'm sorry.
So what's your name, Miss Ma'am?
Alonda.
Alonda. How do you spell that?
Alanda.
I love it. What's your last name?
Keith.
How old are you? 8. What's your birthday?
May 12th, 2010.
You kidding me? 2000 and what? Oh, you're kidding me. How y'all got the same birthday in the same month? So how do you share your birthday month? Y'all are 10 days apart on your birthdays. Who gets mad because the other one may get a better cake? You don't get mad? You don't get mad if your sister get a better cake than you? Okay. My kids get mad because like my son, their birthday's in the same month. So they both in April. So one of them had, he was like little then. He got like the Transformer cake. And then the other one got like just a regular cake because he was like 14. I told him, I said, I didn't think you wanted a character cake. He was like, I did. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Y'all don't get upset with each other about that? Aw. How well do y'all get along with each other?
Not that good.
Why not? Who starts it?
Mostly one.
It's always the young ones.
So if somebody asks you how do you get along with your sister, You want them to think that you don't get along with your sister? All sisters
It's
fight
normal
sometimes.
to. My kids will tell you the same thing.
Don't y'all
My
sisters-
son said he don't like his brother. This is what he tells me.
can't
And I
say
said,
that.
I told him, I said, you can't be telling people that. Well, I don't, Mama. He makes me mad. And I'm like, that's not right. So I get the fact, and I don't take it serious when you tell me that y'all don't get along. I know that sisters have their difference, but how do y'all get along, like, as far as just, like, everyday life? How do y'all get along?
Play video games.
Okay.
You do crafts and you mutilate dolls and put them back together in the craziest of ways.
So, Miss Alonda,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you and your sister some questions, and some things I may repeat because you know what? I'm a little older, so sometimes I can't remember everything. So I may repeat stuff. So don't make fun of me, okay? You promise not to make fun of me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you are maybe like little silly questions. But I just want to make sure that you and your sister are safe at home with your mom, okay?
Okay.
All right. And so, do you know what CPS is?
No.
So CPS stands for Child Protective Services. So what happens is we come out to homes and we talk to children and parents, and we just make sure that you're safe at home with your mom. Do you feel safe here at home with Mama?
Yes.
Why do you feel safe? What does that mean when you say yes? And most people will say they feel safe because they know their mom loves them, that kind of stuff. So what makes you feel safe at home with Mama?
That she's here to protect us.
That's right. And what do you call your other mom? Do you call her Miss Roxanne, or what do you call her?
Call her
Who?
Steppy.
Stebby?
Steppy.
Steppy. Okay.
Not me.
Huh?
Call her Roxanne.
So what I would ask that when you're referring to Miss Roxanne, that you would state and specify Steppy or Miss Roxanne, okay? Because I may ask you questions about her
What do you
too.
say you call her?
Roxanne.
Call her Roxanne. So when you're talking about me, she needs to know you're talking about me. When you're talking about Roxanne, she needs to know you're talking about Roxanne, okay? You need tissue?
Sure, I don't want nothing hot to drink. Y'all don't want no tea? Okay. So, Miss Alani, you stated
like
you.
hot chocolate in the morning, but we don't have no hot chocolate.
Well, we'll try to make that different then. So, Miss Alani, you stated you felt safe at home with Mom because of what?
She's here to protect us.
That's right. So when I come out to homes, I was talking to your mom earlier. I actually talked to her over the phone, and I was telling her why I was coming here. Do you know what the term or the words domestic violence means? You ever heard that? What does it mean to you? And Mom, if you feel like you want to interject, please feel free, because your babies understand you better than they would me. You know what that means to you? You ever heard anyone talk about domestic violence? What'd you hear about it?
I just heard the word.
Do you know what domestic violence